We are live on YouTube, or so StreamYard says. And I can see pictures. No, I don't see
Okay.
pictures. I see
There we go.
I see black. Oh, I see us. Ooh, we are live on YouTube.
Woohoo!
Hello, YouTube.
Bonjour,
Welcome.
les YouTube.
Bonjour, willkommen.
Bienvenue.
Hola.
Hiya.
Benvino. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
To not be distracted. It's a good start.
It's not
Yes.
because YouTube woke up to me going,
Hiya! Edit it.
Oh.
It's all good.
we have viewers.
We do.
We do. I am one of them.
Oh, I'm one of them.
I'm not one of them. So we have
one
do have
viewer.
an actual viewer.
Oh.
Oh no, it's gone.
And we just lost them. Sorry. They're like, oh, wait, I came on the wrong podcast.
Oh, no.
Wrong podcast.
So we currently have no viewers.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
Which is about our average.
Pretty much.
That's fair.
Give or take
It has to be
a
said, an
two.
average of 0 is very difficult to maintain.
Absolutely. Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh.
One moment of distraction and pop, you get a viewer.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
can't
your
be doing
average
that.
is ruined.
I was just more thinking, do you have negative viewers, like anti-viewers?
that would be something.
That mirror universe.
You have now -2 viewers.
Hang on, we're down to 1. How does that work?
No, we have 2 now.
2.
It shows
I don't know
1
if
online.
it's...
Now it's just
I think that my stream is a little bit ahead of yours because mine says 2.
mine says 2 too.
Oh, it says 2 now.
Oh, there's someone
have
named
Lainey.
Lainey.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Hello, Lainey.
Hello.
Lainey, Monica, Lainey.
Nice to meet you.
She knows me.
Right. Righty-ho. Run sheet and review. I'm ready. No, I am not ready. I am not recording. How about we do actually record this thing? Let's go. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Check. Okay. It's checking. I have the wobbly, whammy lines.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Are you recording,
1,
Monica?
2, 3. I'm recording my voice.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Because
Excellent.
Yannick will need that.
Yes, I will need that.
Not for
I do have
anything
the-
incriminating, please.
Of
Oh.
course not.
Well, there's all the fun gone.
Oh,
What have
sorry.
you done?
Such a killjoy.
Did,
Uh-oh.
did you spill your beer?
No.
No. Oh, okay. I thought you were
Why did you think I spilled
Typing.
my beer?
because
Because
you
he
left
picked
your
up his
keyboard and you were
keyboard.
wiping.
Oh no, I was cutting little bits of plastic earlier on, and I discovered a whole bunch of them under my keyboard.
Oh,
Righty.
I try and make a point of not spilling beer if possible.
Yes.
Mhm.
It-
I think
it's
there
so-
would have been more sounds of distress.
and despair.
Hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get quite emotional about the loss of beer. I had to have a couple of minutes silence a couple of weeks ago because I did have a little accident here in the studio. I've got like a tower of beer here.
Mhm.
I'm not really painting a very good image of myself, am I? But
It's okay.
I banged into a drawer unit here. I've got a rainbow drawer unit here. And one of the drawers was open. So I managed to catch it as I walked past it, which then shook the unit. Loads of stuff fell down, glass, you name it. And in the process, I lost 2, believe it or not, cans of beer. The
Oh
bottles were
no.
But,
And the cans just...
yeah, two of the cans landed on the ground and went everywhere.
Oh.
And
Oh.
yeah, the smell's gone, which is good.
Yeah, I was saying that smell must have lasted a while.
It hung around for a while.
I've got the good news and I've got the bad news. Which one
What's
should
that?
I start first? Well, the good news is that Ro subscribed to our channel.
Yay!
Hey.
The bad news it's kind of a bad-ish news is that I forgot to make an unlisted stream, so we are live and public.
Oh, hey, how about
So-
that? So that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's an adventure.
Yeah,
I'm
people
not going
will-
to start behaving myself. Okay.
No, me neither.
No.
Whatever.
Right. Shall we
So this-
start recording and sync this thing?
Yes.
I started recording 3 minutes ago. Shall I stop it and start again?
Well, you do what you want. I don't even care.
Right. Hockey dockies. Right. We'll do a
Okay.
sync then.
Yeah, I will do that
so I'll-
because I'm editing.
Oh, it's yours. Sorry. Yes.
Yes. But if you want to edit it, there's no problem. I have no problem with that. All right. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
All right. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1, engage.
Engage.
Awesome.
23 seconds.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll find it on the video audio thingy.
It's where?
30-ish second for me. 23-ish for you. All right, I need the title, Dave.
Captive Pursuit.
Nice.
Ooh,
Right.
dramatic.
You're gonna have to reload the run sheet, and off we go.
Oh, yeah. I better do. Oh, there we go. 30-ish, 23-ish.
Those are the exact times.
Yep. Yep. Clinical accuracy.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
It's a serious show, Dave. Please.
I'm sorry. I must be in the wrong place. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of Tea Earl Grey Hot, an unofficial Star Trek fan podcast from the Other Side Podcast Network. My name is Dave and I'm joined this week, or this time even, as every time, by someone who is not Tosk. It is my good friend. It is Yannick. Hi, Yannick.
Indeed, I am not Tusk.
You are not
Hi,
Tusk.
Dave. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I got stabbed in the arm this morning. I have no
Yeah.
ill effects.
Yay!
So I'm expecting to be laid out tomorrow, but I'm feeling fine now, which is good. So make the most of it.
Cool.
Mm.
Awesome.
And you may have already noticed we are joined by a first-time guest. She is a
Ooh,
Ubuntu community rep. Yeah, I'm going to start that again.
it's a
That
mouthful.
we didn't even have started the review yet. We already have a first blooper.
Woohoo! Bleep.
She is an Ubuntu community representative at Canonical, also a member of the Ubuntu Mate team, a tea lover, and last but not least, a rather fierce competitor at Hotshot Racing. And it is Monica Madden. Hi, Monica.
Hello. Nice to be here.
Hey, it's wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
Yes. And I even brought Earl Grey tea. How about
Nice.
Nice.
that? Mhm.
Nice touch.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yes.
You put us to shame.
That's okay.
I-
Well,
I-
it
yeah,
is
I do
also
have-
a little bit earlier for me. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know about Yannick. Clearly, he's planning to stay up all night long. But for
Oh,
me,
I can. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. But for me, 3:30 is about that last caffeine, bit.
Yeah, well, I can drink coffee all night and go to sleep. I know without any problem.
Jealous.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't. It only occurred. In fact, it's just occurred to me. I haven't had any coffee today.
What? How
Wow.
did you survive?
This could be interesting.
Yes, this could
Yeah.
be very interesting. Yeah.
Maybe the vaccine has 5G and caffeine?
Oh wow!
Mm.
Built-in caffeine generator. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
gosh. That'd be. Wow.
Wow.
No.
No.
I-
Science could so do it, but no.
Caffeine in IVs.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always threatened about the idea of having a Red Bull and crushing Pro Plus into it, but I've never actually got around to it.
Like, You know what? It wouldn't even have to be an IV because caffeine can be absorbed through the skin.
Yeah.
Right.
So you just get something like a little portable hypo spray. Just,
One of those patch, like the
Yep.
the nicotine patches.
yeah, like a
caffeine
caffeine
patches.
patch.
That's an
Just
idea.
ground up some coffee and just put a plaster on your arm or something.
Yeah.
You know, there was a coffee, like this foofy coffee chocolate orange scrub I used to have. And they were like, if you use this a lot, you will kind of notice it. So also you smelled like a ridiculously good, like dark chocolate orange mocha. So
Wow.
yeah, I know. Benefits.
Yeah.
Benefits. I clearly need to find this again.
Well, you need to get it marketed.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was the place that was doing it. It was marketed. I bought it in a store, but that was like 15 years ago. So I don't even know if they still make it. Well.
Wow.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Anywho,
Anyway.
after that derailment, on this episode, we will be reviewing Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode every time. We'll be reviewing.
It's going to be a long recording.
I don't care. I'm not editing it.
Yeah.
Well, I can trash the whole thing, Right?
Won't be the first time.
Yeah, well, moving on.
In this episode, we'll be reviewing Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 6, Captive Pursuit. After that, we will then be dusting off the rather mouldy 7 questions that we will be putting to Monica. I don't know whether Monica even knows about this, whether she's been pre-warned about it or not.
I've just been told about the existence of the questions, but not the questions themselves.
Oh, don't get too excited.
Okay.
And apparently, we need to have a conversation about something that you made.
Oh yes.
At some point, we'll keep that to the end. Keep people thinking because I want to know about this because this looks interesting.
Woohoo!
Yes, it does.
Particularly as it's illegal.
It is.
Only by Federation law, which.
Sure.
Well, yeah, true.
Which good segue to the episode, maybe.
Nicely done. So, if you are both ready, we shall crack on with our review of Captive Pursuit.
Make it so. Imagine there's a cut in here.
Yes.
The final edit.
Don't worry, nothing you say will end up in the blooper reel.
I was kind of hoping so. It would be fun. And trust me, give me time. There will be verbal gaffes. Just wait.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're going to start on Trudy.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
So in the teaser, Sada, a Darbo girl, complains to Commander Sisko in his office that Quark has made repeated sexual advances towards her. His claim that sex is part of her job appears valid since the provision is buried within the contract that she signed. But Sisko reassures her that the provision will not stand and sends her on her way. That's...
Yeah, so awkward. So awkward.
Why is Sisko dealing with this kind of thing?
Well, I mean, because it's his station, but also it's just like, this is so kind of, I don't know, early 90s at the same time. Just, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting in that, in a show that's all about, like this episode is so about, clashes of cultures and values that this is what we start with. It's like, yep. It's like, we're going to invalidate your contract.
I like the fact that Sisko asks, when did the Quark started, to be to make advances, sexual advances, and she said about 5 minutes after she left the ship. So he didn't lose any time.
No. Never want to miss an opportunity is Quark.
No.
But it's interesting because Star Trek has always been very much at the forefront of political and social subjects.
Mhm.
But this one just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it's the beginning of the episode. There's no context. There's nothing.
No. Well, this
And
is the context.
Yeah, and it is not related to anything in the episode after that.
Again, weird one.
Yeah, and it's just like they move on from it so fast. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the last that we kind of hear about it.
It it feels like, oh crap, we're missing 3 minutes for this episode. What can we do?
I'm just imagining DS9 with like a cold open like other shows have now. Things that are totally unrelated to the episode.
Yeah.
Like DS. Oh, okay. This is a total tangent, but DS9 is a rebooted show in the style of like The Office or like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Or some reality show, like I don't know, those thing where people are locked into an apartment or a house and they just do that on the station. Yeah. Oh boy.
We get many Cisco just staring at the camera, kind of like Jim does. Just like, this is what I have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would survive in a enforced situation such as that.
Anyway,
yeah.
I bring tangents. Woohoo!
Which is nice.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fine. As Sada leaves his office, Major Kira informs him that something is coming through the wormhole.
Da-da-da.
Now, have I missed something? Because I thought that Cisco's office was directly off of Ops and had big double glass slidey doors.
Yeah.
But when Sada left his office, it was a single door, solid, and didn't and went into a corridor.
Maybe they were not really in his office.
Or maybe it was a production error for the 6th episode, and they kind of forgot to get the right door.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All valid suggestions.
Maybe the
Unless
review
there's another.
the review
There could be
maybe-
another door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
God,
go
it's
ahead.
Portal.
Oh yeah, there could be multiple doors.
It's Portal.
It's a portal.
Like the city in the edge of forever.
Yeah.
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 So just all the people Cisco doesn't want to deal with, he just sends them in the portal to the past.
Go back, see Giorgio. Oh, wow.
This might explain why we don't see her again.
Dun, dun, dun.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
And now I've got to check to see whether she does appear in any other episode. And no, she doesn't.
She does.
There we go.
There's
Yep.
the answer. We've got
That's
it.
the
This
answer.
is poor Dabo girl just stuck in the past going, what the hell?
I think she's gone where the guy from A Man Alone went. What was his name? This one.
Yeah.
The
I know what you
one
mean.
we didn't know where he came from, and we don't know where we went. But
No.
anyway,
If you would just please go this way.
Mhm. That's the special exit.
Special exit. If we had ad hoc show titles for these episodes, that would have to be it. The special exit would have to be the episode
Yeah.
title. Yeah.
but I allow you to take that from the podcast.
The special exit. I'll have to mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In Ops, Cisco learns that a small starship has emerged, so he has Chief O'Brien hail the ship. The sole passenger is a reptilian humanoid who appears nervous and is extremely suspicious of Cisco and the rest of the crew. However, as the alien ship is in danger of exploding, the alien reluctantly allows The alien reluctantly agrees to allow O'Brien to bring his ship to a docking bay with a tractor beam using. I would have been fine if you hadn't started giggling, mate. The alien reluctantly agrees to allow O'Brien to bring his ship to a docking bay with a tractor beam, using the graviton field in the beam to reinforce the vessel's structural integrity.
Handy that.
O'Brien is full of resources.
I've never heard of this before.
It is literal plot armor for this ship.
Literally, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. A tractor beam with a graviton field to reinforce the structural integrity. That's a lot of techno bubble. Something else, but it can be polite.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we encounter the graviton field next episode as well. But spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Dispensing with first contact procedures for the moment, Cisco tells O'Brien to greet the new arrival alone, so as to ease their guests' fears and to find out what the alien is so nervous about. 2 questions. First, what are first contact procedures?
We'll never know because it depends on them.
Basically, it's the Federation Diplomatic Service works on them super carefully and lovingly and sends them out, and then they just cry and go out for drinks because they know none of the Starfleet captains are ever going to follow these.
That's a fair description.
Yeah, that's pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy with that. It's a good answer.
Okay.
Second question, why would you send any crew member on their own to initiate first contact? That doesn't sound right.
No.
But, I mean, if I'm O'Brien, I'm going, this isn't in my job description.
This is like the other special exit.
Yeah. But also, why would they dispense from first contact procedures?
Yeah.
What's
I would
wrong?
imagine because they're ceremonial. And in order to carry out the first contact, you would have to go through a certain sequence of events they actually don't have time to go through because they have a more urgent need to accommodate.
Yeah, but then they're gonna have to send the lower decks team to the second contact, and that's not good.
And then, I mean, they're on, they're at the Bajoran wormhole. They say over, throughout this episode how, we hope more of this happens. Why isn't there like a standing diplomatic team just there for these kinds of things?
That's a great question.
A phenomenal question. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise we don't get the Miles O'Brien is buddies with everybody episode, that we get here.
Well, one answer to that might be that they apparently didn't expect anyone to arrive from the Gamma Quadrant. So they expect people from the Alpha Quadrant to go there and back because they said it was the first ever encounter with some species from the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah. You think you wouldn't at least have a contingency plan, though?
Yeah.
Like, it goes this way. It probably goes this way.
Yeah, it probably comes the other way. Yeah, I agree with that.
We'll deal with it when it happens.
It's a freaking door. It opens in both directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like the we'll deal with it when it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the point in expending effort to prepare for this thing if it never happens? Let's get someone through the door, see what they're like, see what kind of stuff we have to do to accommodate them, whether we need to put a banquet on or open the bar and get Quark to give free drinks out.
That's never going to happen.
But precisely.
free drinks, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the mention of the first species to come through the through the wormhole from the Gamma Quadrant, I have some trivia on that later on.
Ooh, trivia! I love trivias.
Yeah, I'm glad because I have loads. And Yannick, you lose 2 points for mentioning the series that you do not like.
I know, but I said it was not a bad idea. It was not a good idea to send the lower deck teams. for good
But-
reasons.
But you can't deny Lower Decks as a series.
I don't
and then
deny it. I
reference
just
it.
don't like it.
It's
It's not like those movies who don't exist. Those movies that don't exist, they don't exist.
They don't exist. They're in a different
Lower Deck-
timeline. So
Yeah, Lower Decks does exist. I just don't like it.
Sorry, JJ who?
Yes,
exactly.
Mr. Lens Flare.
So many things. Yeah, and also a different different fandom altogether. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right, so we were on to Act 1.
after 3 hours of recording.
yeah.
Think you need to fix your clock, sir.
Hasn't been that long.
No, time is relative. Einstein said.
It is.
Podcast recording time doubly so. Hedging Douglas Adams there.
So, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to like
It's
Yeah,
on
but
my
it-
reading list.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
He
They
never.
made
Never
a movie and
Yeah,
the-
I know.
radio plays.
Yes.
Yes.
The BBC did a lot of stuff for it. I just haven't got around to reading it yet.
Yeah, see what I
Yes.
have to deal with.
It's
Every week.
okay.
And I know it's a 5-part trilogy. That's a good start. It's
Yeah.
a good start.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah, and it was written by Douglas someone.
Adams.
I know.
You know.
Okay, moving on.
Act 1.
O'Brien finds the ship deserted when he enters, although sensors indicate that the alien is still present. He goes about inspecting the ship when the alien materializes behind him. The alien is Tosk. Although Tosk doesn't tell O'Brien if this is his name or his species, he is simply Tosk. Although Tosk seems impatient and in a hurry, he does allow O'Brien to help fix the ship.
Yes,
Aw,
It sounded like-
Miles.
sounded like I am Groot.
Groot?
Tusk.
At least he does a little bit more talking than Groot does.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, a whole
I am Tosk.
episode of I Am Tossed.
Groot is cuter, though.
Yes.
True.
Significantly so.
Let's take this opportunity to say hello to Eric in the
Yay!
YouTube chat. Hello, Eric. Eric is
Good to
the
have you
R
here.
podcast.
Hi, Eric.
Welcome to the circus, Eric.
Yes.
You don't know where you arrived.
You don't know how deep this dive
Nope.
goes.
Nope. We've not even started yet.
We've only just started.
Yes.
Keep watching.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or don't. As Tosk and O'Brien head... I'm going to try that again.
Okay.
This is a very serious show, as you can see.
Totally. Yeah. As Tosk and O'Brien exit the ship and walk towards the promenade, O'Brien casually attempts to find out about how Tosk's ship was attacked, but ultimately he gets nowhere. The two of them seem to develop an unspoken bond on the promenade. Tosk observes everything, even Dr. Bashir, as they pass him near the infirmary, with great interest.
How could you
He-
not want to watch Dr. Bashir?
It was more sniffing Dr. Bashir than watching him.
Okay, maybe I'm talking about inserting myself in this situation. It's like, yeah, we're going to stay at the infirmary for a while. I had such a. I'm trying to think of how old I was when this was, because what was the first season of DS9? When did it come out?
90. Oh.
DS9.
93.
7.
Not, 93. So I was.
No,
Yes.
it wasn't.
No, 92.
92.
Okay, so I had just turned. I turned 13. That year, I had such a girl crush on Dr. Bashir. Oh my god. I'm just like, he's snooty and arrogant and gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And he's like super arrogant the first season. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, he really didn't kind of tone it down till later. But yeah. Just saying, I'm not blaming Tusk for checking Bashir out. And hi, Eric. Incredibly thoughtful, deep, thought-provoking conversations going on here.
I have a kind of an irrational fear of Julian Bashir purely because I have this real horrible feeling that at any moment he's going to burst into song. And
I can see him.
and that scares
dancing.
me. So
Dancing and chanting and
He does wear those outfits. Oh my god. His fashion choices. That's just like, how much lame can one man wear to, play spring ball or whatever.
Oh yeah, in the upcoming episodes. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yep. Wow. Dave is wishing he didn't remember that. I'm
just thinking if we need to put some kind of clause into the guest attendance process here that if Julian Bashir is going to be in that particular episode, we don't invite Monica in.
Well, but good luck.
we can invite Monica's husband. He's a tricky too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, or we just make sure Yannick is always editing when Monica's on the show.
Just edit out all the.
Or we can invite Monica, Lainey, Caroline, Chris, and talk fashion.
Well, isn't that going to happen in 20 or so episodes anyway?
Yeah, when we do the last DS9
we'll do the last of the season.
The DS9 extravaganza, when we invite everybody, well, as many people as we can.
Yay! Ooh, Eric is asking which series did we like better, DS9 or TNG?
Overall, I like DS9 very much. Maybe a little bit more than TNG.
I agree with Yannick. For me, they're pretty close, but DS9, if I had to pick one, then that's the one that I would pick.
Okay, well, I have seen a grand total of what episodes is?
Six
episodes of DS9. So at the moment, my money is still very much on TNG.
Of course. I suggest we keep the questions for later on.
Okay, sounds good.
Tusk also takes a particular interest in a diagram of Deep Space Nine on a wall panel. When Tusk observes that others will detect the wormhole and come to Deep Space Nine, O'Brien seems enthusiastic, explaining that Starfleet's mission is to seek out new life and new civilizations. Even though they're not ready to receive them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
But not have a diplomatic team to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, engineer, go.
What? Just speak Klingon? Yeah, okay. Go there. What?
Miles he's like the Swiss Army knife of Starfleet officers, though. He can just do pretty much everything.
On DS9, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do anything.
Yeah. It's like, you need a transporter operator? Miles. Engineer? Miles. Even took those. Oh, wait, no. I was thinking, did he take the like basic first aid courses? Like, oh no, that was Julian with his engineering extension courses, trying to hide the fact that he probably knew like quantum engineering. It's like, oh yeah, I just took a class. Oh wait, spoilers.
There was an awkward moment when Tosk and O'Brien observed Quark escorting a Bolian woman out of his bar. Quark promises to return the woman's money, but forbids her from returning to his establishment as she has cheated at Dabo. O'Brien casually explains that some aspects of his culture can be explained later. Yeah, good luck on that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Mm.
Yeah.
They reach Tosk's temporary quarters and O'Brien escorts him in. Curiously, Tosk requires only 17 minutes of sleep per rotation and has no use for food replicators, as liquid nutrients are stored throughout his body.
So he's the ultimate tech bro in evolution.
Yeah.
He's hacked himself to not need sleep, and his body generates its own food.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah.
If you could add caffeine to that food, then that would be great.
Well, that's why he doesn't need sleep.
Oh, yes, of course.
He basically needs a power nap per day.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Wow.
yeah. Although he didn't actually go into much detail because he said that it was 17 minutes of sleep per rotation. Well, he didn't tell us that the rotation is only 18 minutes. So he's only awake 1 minute a day.
Well, that's not true because the episode had started for more than 1 minute. So.
And that is true. That is true. Yeah, but whenever they talk about planetary rotations, the fact that we've only recently learned there's a 26-hour rotation on Bajor, and that's what the station operates to.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you've got loads of visiting species coming to the station, which is going to happen all the time, and you're talking about days, rotations, whatever, they're all going to be different.
Yeah.
Meetings are bad enough with distributed teams on one planet. Imagine meetings with distributed teams on multiple planets.
Yeah. And it's always the same thing that the universal translator is able to know that when someone says a day in their language, referring to one rotation of their planet around their own star, it can translate that in a number of days, human days.
Yeah.
It's amazing, this technology.
Mm.
And especially like with things like years, and most planets are probably going to be orbiting multiple stars That's another one of those Federation bureaucracies there, like for time and standards. It's just like, it's probably painful.
That's why they invented stardates, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I can't get my head around the idea of orbiting multiple stars.
Mm-hmm.
Because theoretically, years could be different lengths for each solar rotation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Probably would be easy to kind of to map it out, though, because it's just if you know the mass and everything, just plug in all the values and boom.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Right.
Yeah.
Clearly, one of our 5 people, Achin, should look that up on the interwebs and find a good example.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't know us. We can do Wikipedia live search on the show for 10 minutes.
True.
That never stopped us.
We're pretty good at looking stuff up on the fly.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Or texting our resident astronomer.
Yes.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Yes, we have an astronomer. We don't have a lot of other people we need.
No, but we have an astronomer on call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, uncle.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's cheaper than keeping an astronomer on retainer, which I don't know. I don't know what they charge.
Sorry, pay someone?
with what money?
He's a friend of ours. We don't. You don't
tell
pay
them
for
this
friendship.
this is the TNG version where money doesn't exist. So
exactly. Yeah.
Not the intergalactic capitalism that we get in this show.
O'Brien says they can begin work on Tosk's ship tomorrow. Tosk turns to a terminal on the wall as soon as O'Brien is gone and tells the computer to show him where on the station the weapons are. He studies a schematic of the station as the computer informs access to the specified location is restricted to security clearance 7 and above. This is not a good start.
No,
but how come the computer even tells where the weapons are?
Mhm.
I mean, it shouldn't even reveal the location of the armory. If you
Yeah.
don't have the clearance to get there, then
I mean, this is a basic a basic tutorial in a mostly successful social engineering hack of Deep Space Nine.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't expect to perform a social engineering attack on a computer.
Yeah, but they made it kind of personal.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to be helpful.
Sometimes those computers are more dumb than useful.
Right. But there could be anybody in those quarters. It could be an engineer. It could be somebody official. It could be, the admiral.
Yeah.
You answer those questions to an admiral. But yeah, you principle of least privilege should apply.
Yeah.
The computer knows it's restricted to level 7 or something. So it shouldn't even reveal the location if you don't have the clearance to access that.
Yeah. So a bit thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny in the chat said that our assistants don't get paid. Otherwise, Dave would owe her about 10 years of pay.
Come on, let's move on. We haven't got time for this. Don't know what you mean.
10 years of show titles. I don't know how much that was. But...
Ooh, and don't forget interest.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I find that I am booted from the chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking for another guest to complete this show.
Well, I can't boot you. It has to be Yannick that does it.
Why?
I can't boot people from the chat.
Oh yeah, because you don't have the.
Oh.
Yeah,
Phew,
I started
I'm safe.
this video chat, so I'm
I can remove myself from the stream. That's about as far as my powers go.
So you can take your toys and go home.
Well, they're not my toys, they're Yannick's. So,
Yes.
I only do what he lets me.
Okay.
That's
pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Tisk tisk.
Mm. So, on to Act 2. In Sisko's office, O'Brien informs the commander that, while Tosk seems amicable, O'Brien knows Tosk's ship was damaged by weapons fire. Sisko says he will tell Odo to keep an eye on Tosk. Back aboard Tosk's ship, he and O'Brien go about repairing the damage and continue to bond as they teach each other new things, including the phrase, piece of cake.
That was nice.
It's a really nice thing because, what is it? Figurative speech is really hard to translate. So,
absolutely, the whole concept of idioms is, well, by their very nature, they're very specific to the language and the culture in which it's appropriated. So, trying to explain the phrases and words that we use on a daily basis without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on how good of a job that the universal translator does, because, okay, this is great because I have actual piece of cake here.
Woo-hoo!
How does it know when you're saying piece of cake as piece of cake, literal eat cake, or piece of cake as something is easy? And does it translate the context? You would assume if it's sophisticated enough that it could. But clearly we get the sense that in this case it's not, because if O'Brien is having to explain what piece of cake means, it means the universal translator isn't doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the universal translator has probably a hard time because it's the first time they meet Tusk.
That's true. That's
so
true.
it has to adapt to the language.
Hmm. There's some little server back at, like, I don't know, some headquarters there that's just putting
Yeah.
it through. And this is actually where Eric would be a great guest to have. Like, if we wanted to do machine learning to make our own universal translator, how would we do that?
Yeah.
It would be hilarious.
We could ask Eric to
Mhm.
write a bit of R code. And,
Write a bit of R. Easy
yeah.
peasy.
Sure.
I can see how that would be really useful because there are occasions when Yannick or I will say something and we just don't have a clue what the other person said.
Nope.
Mhm.
What?
So
What?
clearly you need Miles O'Brien to just come on the stream and be like, that's what he meant.
Oh, if Conmine wants to come on the show, the door's
Please.
open.
Yes.
This is a public video. He can watch this.
Yes.
You're assuming he made it this far through the video.
What are you saying?
Not that it's not extremely entertaining for us, but I don't know if he would have the patience to make it through.
Wow. I need to create a new deny list. Hang on a second.
Well, I am going to make the most of my first and last time as a guest on this show.
You know, Dave, there's a list in StreamYard. There's a settings of banned guests.
Again,
Maybe
it's that I can't see.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't? Okay. Maybe it's time we update this banned guest list.
I could just use a VPN and just like Veronica Ladin.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
God, where in the episode were we? Oh, the Universal Translate.
I put a little marker because I know I'm going to forget after half an hour. So I know where to go back to.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Literally.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I think you can skip the next phrase.
Yeah, I think I probably will, actually. He's in trying to work out the context for it. Tusk and O'Brien go to Quarks, where Tusk observes that humans and species like them have too much downtime. He notes how very different...
Yeah, that was funny that he noticed that humans sleep for a third of their cycle and then they spend but another third doing nothing.
Well, also the humans have to feed, humans and humanoids have to feed themselves. They can't just, make their own food.
Yeah.
Must seem a very backward species by comparison.
Mhm.
But
I think
we don't know that yet, but it's because of Tusk's nature that he needs to be on the move, so he doesn't have time to sleep and doesn't have time to rest. And
really,
Absolutely.
he is just a Silicon Valley tech bro, just before they existed. But I think that we would seem horribly inefficient. It's like, wait, you have to spend this much time, recharging and feeding. That's just why. Why do you do that still?
Yeah,
indeed. But as Yannick quite rightly said, it's driven very much by necessity, as we'll find out a bit later on.
Yep.
Quark attempts to find a way to make a profit off of Tusk, offering him a visit to a holosuite. But Tusk claims to live...
That's going to go well.
Yeah.
But Tusk claims to live the greatest adventure of all, which greatly impresses Quark. He continues to resist O'Brien's attempts to find out about his past.
Yeah, it's not lack of trying from O'Brien.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I have a theory about at this point in me watching this episode. I have a theory about it. And I'll mention it in a bit. You probably already know what it's going to be. O'Brien speaks with Commander Sisko and Lieutenant Dax in Ops, where it becomes obvious that O'Brien is attached to Tosk. While Sisko is somewhat suspicious of their guest, he believes that it is Tosk's option. He believes that it's Tosk's option not to divulge the truth of his mission.
Yeah, I guess, he didn't do anything wrong. He's not accused of anything. So
It
no
is.
obligation of telling what's his life is.
Yeah, it's interesting because Cisco is threading a really thin line here, because someone who comes through the wormhole whose ship is about to explode, that's been damaged by weapons fire, he has to realize that, and he does, that there is a possible threat to the station. But at the same time, he wants O'Brien to respect Tosk's culture, which they don't know anything about, because they took those first contact things and just ripped them into little tiny pieces and turned them into confetti and threw them all over Ops. But he's trying to be like, okay, how can I not get a talking to from the Federation diplomatic corps here?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tosk tampers with an access terminal in a corridor elsewhere on DS9, attempting to access a weapons locker. A painting on the wall turns out to be Odo. But of course he was!
Well, at least it was a painting and not like a potted plant.
Or a chair.
Or a rat.
Or a rat.
Yes. Oh,
Or a
wait,
bag.
aren't they? No, what were the rats on Deep Space Nine? They were the vole. Oh, what were they called? They have a name.
Yeah, we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
The only rats we have seen is when Odo was
Oh, yeah.
disguised as a rat, in one of the first episodes.
Which is interesting because that presumes that there are Terran rats on Deep Space Nine. Okay, that's an interesting thought about how vermin spread from planet to planet.
Yeah, I don't even understand how they can be rats on the space station, but that's another point.
They'll be evolved rats, I presume.
Yeah, I presume.
Rat people. I'm just thinking of like Red Dwarf, where cat eventually evolves into cat. So why haven't Terran rats evolved into rat?
Yeah. How do we know they haven't?
We don't.
Good
The
point.
humans that we are looking at the moment, the humans we're looking at in the 24th century, are they humans? They haven't changed at all. Lots of time has passed between the first and last, not including the 33rd century, the first and last known dates within the Star Trek universe. They look exactly the same as they had done. You think things would have changed slightly in that particular period of time. Even more so when you consider the people and the circumstances in the environments they've been exposed to, where they could have been affected by anything around them that could have changed their genetic makeup in some way. I'm not saying Picard is a rat, but
But it's possible.
Well, he's an android now, so.
He's not.
No,
he's not.
he's
well, it's like
It's a golem,
he's like
not an android.
he's a golem.
It's a golem, yeah.
Sorry, spoilers. Oh no, we've done that. It's not a spoiler.
Well, maybe Q will turn him into a real boy in the
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Season 2.
That was a nice reveal. Tosk becomes invisible, but is stopped when Odo activates security force fields. Whatever that word was supposed to be. Tosk becomes invisible, but is stopped when Odo activates security force fields in the hallway. Trapped, Tosk assures Odo he will not put up a fight. Tosk is led away to a holding cell.
Yeah.
Now,
It seems that it never saw any force fields because it kept bumping into them, being surprised. So I don't know.
yes, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, well, it seems like, kind of catching him alive kind of wasn't the point. So I wonder if they felt like trapping him and then killing him would be akin to cheating. So
Yeah.
that could maybe explain why that was kind of a foreign thing to him.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
But
Considering
we don't know that at that time.
No, we don't know that at that time. But
Mhm.
even from the point of view of somebody who has appeared on a space station surrounded by species they've probably never even seen before, they don't know what his intentions are. He doesn't know what everybody else's intentions are. He's suddenly become trapped. What's the first thing going through his mind going to be?
Yeah.
It's not going to be,
Interesting.
stop messing about, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At this moment in time, watching the episode, because I've only seen it once, I can't help feeling there's more to it than what we're seeing. I don't think, and again, hindsight is wonderful, I don't think that anything nefarious is going on here. I don't think that Tosk's desire to get to the weaponry is anything other than an attempt at self-preservation, a survival
Mhm.
instinct,
Oh, yeah.
rather than something offensive against the space station or the people in it.
Mhm.
I agree.
Mhm. Same.
Please note that on this day at 9:15 UK time, I agree with Dave.
Mhm.
Ooh, and there's witnesses.
And there's witnesses, and it's
No,
recorded.
It'll get edited out, and he'll take the video down. I
Well,
know
you
how
can't
Yannick
take that
thinks.
of people's memories, though.
Yeah, well, we'll send someone with a little flashy thingy.
A little flash thingy to everyone's house and be like,
Yes.
okay.
Retcon. Okay, so we're on to Act 3. We're actually halfway through the episode, which isn't actually that bad.
Yeah.
Time-wise. With Tosk in a holding cell, Cisco, O'Brien, and Odo meet him in the brig, where Cisco attempts to find out from whom Tosk is running. Tosk seems to think that Yep.
Yeah.
Tosk seems to think that the fact that he is Tosk explains everything, and he claims he can't tell them any more. But even with the others gone, Tosk is unable to tell O'Brien his predicament. He asks O'Brien to let him die with honor.
And I was like, what?
What? Yeah. What do you mean let him die? Let me die with honor?
Yeah.
Yeah. If only we had Worf on the station at this point.
Yeah.
Worf would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot Klingon-like.
Mhm.
Tusk's attitude.
Yeah.
Wants to die with honor and stuff like that. So I guess they
But
needed a Klingon at this
alas.
time.
Exactly. But they don't have one, so
Not for
No.
another
Not
5
yet.
years. Yeah, 5 years.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not a regular Klingon cast.
mhm. There's miscellaneous Klingons before then.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But they don't have a Klingon on call.
No.
Yeah. On speed dial.
No.
1-800 Klingon.
Actually, that works.
That's the right number of digits. I just realised. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
For US phone number. Oh my god. Someone needs to dial that.
I'm
Just
so
saying.
tempted to dial that. I've got to admit. 5544. No, 55546466.
That's Klingon.
No. Yes.
Okay. So if anyone wants to try to call 1-800 Klingon and tell us what they get, send us an email. Feedback at tearlgreyhot.org or join us in Telegram TEGH podcast.
Brilliant. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Excellent.
It's my job.
She'll keep that phone number. Children, please.
Well, I suddenly had a frightening idea. It's get Monica and Lainey at the same time on the show, and we'll have a
Ooh.
giggle fest.
Oh.
For...
Oh
Yes.
boy.
Yes.
I'll have to make sure I've got enough disk space for that one.
Oh boy.
That
Wow.
sounds like a challenge I am willing to
Uh,
accept.
Actually,
Yes,
we can
I'm-
leave the both of you do the show, and we can leave.
I'm curious whether there would be enough time for me to jump on a ferry and come over and visit you, Yannick, by the time they finish talking.
Maybe.
Probably have time to go back.
You could probably even take the super slow ferry the long way.
I could swim. No, I couldn't.
Don't know if Lenny is up to that, being on the show with Monica. Let us know, Lenny, in the comments. Maybe we can set that up for a future episode. A short one.
Short.
Would it be an episode? Is that a small episode? An episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the form of an episode. Yeah.
I think they can do one of the lower decks
Minisode?
episodes.
A mini-sode. Yeah,
Mhm.
mini-sode.
Oh dear.
Oh,
We could
she's a-
review a trailer.
Oh yeah, we could
Ooh.
review
Mm.
Picard season 2 trailer. It's short. So
Ooh, we
with both
could.
of you, we could have a 1 hour recording about that.
Oh, and she said, actually, hey, I'm here and can set the lappy up.
Not now.
I think that clearly means she's interested, though.
Well, we're going to set that up for a future episode.
Woohoo!
That sounds like fun.
That does.
Yes.
We could quite happily leave them to it and just take the week off.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure,
We'll
we could.
take a
You're still
That's
at
a good idea.
vacation to, I don't know where.
We can't go anywhere at the moment.
Exactly.
Mm.
To a different part of your house.
Well, no. To
Yeah.
be fair, I can travel to other parts of the country. We're kind of starting to relax
Yeah.
the rules a bit. But yeah,
Go visit the least disagreeable person that you know.
Ah, I have no chance then.
that's me.
There you go.
Oh look, I'm here already. Hi. Hi.
How about that?
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
This complete take everything out of context now.
We're in the brig, and O'Brien
Yeah,
is
no,
talking to.
No, I know where
us.
we are.
But that's for the audience
Right.
benefit.
They could just follow along in Memory Alpha because we just steal their work.
We
Borrow.
based,
Borrow.
we based
We
our
are
review.
inspired by.
Lainey said, "Can we please enforce the rules, though?"
What rules?
There's rules.
Since when do we have rules?
Oh dear. Oh yeah, I could go and visit Lainey, I suppose.
Ah.
She's only about 30 miles up the road. Well, 30
That
miles
is not-
in a straight line. She's not far.
Oh, that's not far. That's
No.
not far.
Anyway, I think we were reviewing an episode at some point.
We were.
Maybe.
So we'll crack on with
Possibly.
that. O'Brien admits to Odo that he feels partially responsible for what's happening to Tosk, being that he was the one who talked him into coming aboard DS9 in the first place.
Yeah,
Well-
O'Brien's fault. Always.
Oh,
Yeah.
totes. Yeah.
Always blame Miles.
Well, it's usually Dave's fault, but in this case, I just don't see how I can blame that on Dave. So.
That would be hard.
Sorry, Popey.
Oh yeah,
What?
Poppy's fault.
Blame
That
Popey.
works.
Blame
Yes,
Popey.
yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
That works.
That's Poppy's fault.
We need to inform him that, some poor Toss got interred on Deep Space Nine. It's
Well-
all his fault. Somebody tweet him like right now.
We can tweet him, or we can let you tell him next time you have him in a meeting.
Tomorrow morning.
Well, that's done. Yeah,
That'll work.
just inform him in front of everyone that. It's his
Okay,
fault.
it's informing him in front of 2 other people. If you'd like, I could wait till we get a meeting with somebody higher up than that. But
Yeah, just start small and see how
Okay.
it goes.
okay, that sounds good.
We love you, Puppy.
We do.
Couple of little facts that I've never told
No.
anybody. Nobody knows these.
Like-
First one, I went to school with Popey.
What? Small world.
Our schools were merged halfway through the time of us being there. So for the last 2 years, and we actually went to the same technical college on day release.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he wants other people to know that either.
Well, it's out there now.
Yeah, and the second piece of trivia relating to Popey that I have never ever told anybody ever
Never.
is I started podcasting 1 day before he did.
Ooh, take that. Okay, except if he ever makes a time machine in the future, goes back to his previous self, and then wipes that record out.
It'd have to be
that
running
would
retro Bunto. Retro Bunto.
Oh, that would be like a great who's that Christopher? Like a great Christopher Nolan film of you and Popey going back to change the timeline, just to be the one who starts podcasting first.
I don't need to. I am that person. So it
But
needs to do
just
the work. Not me.
saying, just saying that once he gets the time machine invented. I mean, that's a really sad thing to use it for, but
Yes, but we already know that's not going to happen. Because
oh,
if that was to happen, that would have already happened, and Puppy would already be the first one.
or we're in the timeline where that happened, and he made a separate timeline.
Well, that's not time
The
traveling.
darkest
then.
timeline.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that gives some movies that don't exist and things like that. So no.
Yeah, no. Oh, and Lainey, I'm sorry. I think I'm the one who keeps on breaking the rules with the sounds of happiness.
Well, to be fair, you didn't know the rule about the
Yeah.
movie, so
But that rule doesn't apply to TL Grey Hot as a whole. It's a personally enforced rule.
Okay,
Yes.
so
You're not
I
the boss
can-
of me.
so I can still make my noises of squee. Yay!
you
Yeah,
do
that's
whatever
absolutely fine.
you want.
I'm going to record that and save that for future purposes.
Sure.
Use it completely out of context.
Of course, that's what I do.
And it
Where in
doesn't-
this episode were we?
I was about to say it wouldn't matter which timeline we were in anyway, because we would still be 64 minutes into our recording. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the urge to cough. I'm going to have to be careful here. Bear with me.
Mhm.
Another larger starship with ion signatures matching those of Tosk's ship. Oh, I'm going to say that again. Another larger starship with ion signatures matching those of Tosk's ship come through the wormhole. However, its occupants do not respond to hails and use alien technology to scan and beam aboard DS9. They board the promenade, headed for Tosk's cell. And once again, the complete lack of security.
Yeah.
It's like shields.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
At the
Well,
same
no,
time,
they-
when they fire this thingy, there's a shield around the station, and yet they can beam on the promenade without any problem.
No,
Mhm.
Kira didn't order the shields to be put up until after the scan had occurred. Oh,
But the scan
no,
occurred
so
after the.
shields were up. So how did they get on
Yeah.
board?
Obviously, I mean,
Don't know. Obviously, the
Again-
shields are run with a Windows server or something. Tons of backdoors and bolts.
and and they they clearly didn't update. So
No.
yeah, old
Anyway,
vulnerability there.
it's a Star Trek thing,
Mhm.
You can beam
I've
pretty
lost-
much anyone
Yeah.
anywhere without
I've lost count of the
even
amount of times
asking
we've spoken
for
about this.
authorization or anything.
Yeah.
Like that, so.
But then again, if it didn't, we wouldn't have had this episode. So
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
They had to spend like 3 hours trying to get on the station. That would be boring.
Yeah.
Civilians scatter when 3 armored hunters materialize on the promenade. Cisco, Kira, and O'Brien arrive to join Odo and several deputies, and there is a standoff. What on earth does that mean? And there is a standoff as the 3 Try again. And there is a standoff as the 3 officers approach the trio of hunters. The hunters appear to ready their weapons, as it's apparent that peaceable actions will not work. Cisco tells his officers to ready their phasers. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew. Yep.
Pew,
Yeah.
pew.
That there was one hunter that was very I don't know how to say that, when he stopped the lasers with his wrist.
Yeah.
Kind of like Wonder Woman when she stops.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
Yep.
god, I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so it was strange, their transporter beam thingy. It looked like they were inside a cylinder or something.
Yeah,
Mm.
and and it's just again how obviously their scanners are really good if they can pinpoint exactly where to beam in too.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, how do to get that degree of accuracy to put down there rather than like, I know, inside the reactor. And maybe this is from playing one too many Star Trek text space role playing games where I did accidentally beam my character into space more than a few times because I got the destination wrong.
But
Yeah.
then if they were that accurate, they would at least beam in front of the brig and not on the promenade.
Yeah.
Or if they're really precise, why didn't they beam inside the brig? Why did they have to go to the promenade? I don't know.
Because then we don't get the standoff. So
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the Wonder
Let's-
Woman thing.
Yes.
But let's say that they couldn't beam inside the brig because for some reason it was protected. It's not.
One
It's
would
not
kind of hope
completely
that the brig had
illogical.
extra anti-transporter shields.
Yeah,
Thingy cage, Faraday cage.
Oh yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we are now on to Act 4. Cisco instructs the hunters to put down their weapons, and they refuse to do so. Odo heads forward to confront them, but is struck by one of the hunters. A brief firefight ensues, with several direct hits against the hunters, who apparently have special armor that absorb phaser energy, like Wonder Woman. Odo comments that they're after his prisoner Tosk, and vows that no one will abduct a prisoner from his brig while he's alive. Major Kira offers a
Hunters go, challenge accepted.
It's like that scene from Men in Black when the bugs just landed in Matey's back garden, and he goes up and says, "You can have my rifle when you pry it from my cold dead fingers."
Yeah.
And to which the alien goes, "Your proposal is acceptable."
Yes. Oh god.
Major Kira offers a phaser to Odo to help defend himself, but Odo declines, commenting that she knows he never uses them. Eventually, the hunters blast the doors open. Eventually, the hunters blast open the doors to security in a fiery explosion with their weapons and make their way into the brig.
Yeah. So the door is not that strong. Or maybe the weapons are especially powerful.
That was quite a bang.
Yeah, it was. I admit.
Yeah, it's interesting. We never really hear about. I mean, the species seems, or civilization seems really advanced, and I think this is the only episode where they pop up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're just like maybe they were just a little too strong, and so we're just
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah.
When they left, they were like, yeah. Well, they said later on in the episode that they would ban the use of the wormhole from the hunt, and since they're doing the hunt
True.
most of the time, that's probably why.
Probably.
The hunter scans the empty holding cell with his helmet to find Tosk, who has become invisible. Tosk reveals himself. O'Brien, Odo, and Cisco run into the room as the hunter tells his two partners that he has found the Tosk alive. The hunter removes his helmet and then criticizes Tosk for such a disappointment for having been caged and caught. It's then realized by Cisco that Tosk is prey for the hunters. The hunter announces that Tosk will be captured and brought home alive, the greatest humiliation Tosk can know. Tosk hangs his head in shame, and the hunter commands Tosk's release, but Cisco does not allow it. So ultimately, this is a game.
Yeah, this is a game. The review says that O'Brien, Odo, and Cisco run into the room, but there was like a good 2 or 3 minutes before they actually get into
It was
the room.
okay. They jog.
Yeah.
They
The
saunter.
hunter had time to get in, scan, use his red thingy on his helmet to slowly and painfully scan the room. And oh my god, here's Tusk.
Well, clearly some people have been slacking on their Starfleet physicals.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
You know,
And
they
that was
could just be taking some laps around the promenade every day,
Sure.
but no.
Nope. And there was not even a single guard inside the brig.
It's just
That is a good point.
Yeah. No one was there.
No.
Yeah.
For welfare, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Just be a red shirt.
I mean, yeah. It's just, or just one of, I mean, maybe you can say that the deputies all got pulled off for the situation on the promenade. But it seems to be like, okay, if they're, they're coming for the prisoners, so you at least leave one person there.
Yeah.
If they're
The
never
odds
going for the
aren't good
prisoner,
for that
you
person.
add people. You don't take
Yeah.
people away.
Yeah. Just seems like the security after review of this incident is not going to look well on
No.
anybody.
Nope. So Lenny says that she's blaming us boys for, not enforcing the hoo-hoo rules. So,
What rules? Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Perhaps we just don't care. Maybe it's as simple as that.
Oh, get a little bit anarchist here.
I wasn't saying we don't. I was asking the question. That's all it was. I look forward to Lainey's response.
Yes.
should be there in a moment.
She's already typed it, I'm sure. Well, she said she loves us, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah. Aw.
Oh, that was before we hoo-hooed.
And now you've done it twice.
Three times actually.
Oh dear.
Three times. Cisco and the hunter debate over the morality of hunting another, even if he was specifically bred to be hunted. The hunter states that the wormhole will be out of bounds for the hunt in the future, then once again demands the release of Tosk to him.
That's not going to happen.
No. Well.
And yet.
In the operations center, Cisco announces that Tosk will be released to the hunters. Kira asks about asylum for Tosk, but Cisco states that it can only be granted if Tosk asks. O'Brien then runs to Tosk in the holding cell, telling him to request asylum. But even though Tosk does appreciate the efforts to help him, he refuses because it goes against everything that he believes in. So
yeah,
now
I guess. Sorry, go ahead.
Now I'm thinking that Tosk is neither a name nor a species. It's more of like a social classification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can understand. I mean, it's something that's not in our culture, but if that's how, how their culture work, then I can understand that he would not want to not be the prey, as as they said, he's been bred for that, and that's all he knows. And it's something we're not used to, but who are we to judge other cultures?
And this is the reason why Cisco was saying that he has to let him go, because otherwise it's interference and is a violation of the Prime Directive.
Yeah, and it is interesting that you mentioned that it's not a name or a species, but it's a role. That seems to make a lot of sense, because even though I think you could have a very interesting discussion on whether Tosk has internalized what the hunters have taught. And it made me think of, like, is there a fallout to this episode where Tosk maybe goes back to his home planet and starts a rebellion? So, which I
kind of like Hugh. When he goes back to the collective and teaches the others that they can be individuals.
Yeah,
right.
And so it seems to be. I mean, it seems to be incredibly vague on that point, but it's interesting because yes, Tosk sees. It's really It's interesting because I think that this handles it with a lot in a more complicated manner than some other ones do, because I don't think that we got a lot into the shared consciousness of the Borg. Even it was forced, but this is a bad thing that we should break up. But here, that this kind of role that the Tosk, whether it's a species or whether maybe it's one person or being who's kind of bred for this, kind of where does Star Trek make its dividing line? And I think that would be a really interesting thing to figure out and to find on the episodes that deal with this and kind of see, does that change over time? Because I think it probably says more things about our present than anything else.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe the difference, with the Borg is that the Borg was presented as an enemy with where their goal was to assimilate everything, so they were dangerous, so they had to be stopped.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he doesn't present any danger to the Federation, to the station. So,
ooh, interesting brain spark here. We talked about how the Universal Translator maybe didn't do a very good job with their language. What if bread is actually should be raised?
Yeah.
So maybe if Tosk is a title, this is something that that role is chosen for them at a young age, and they're raised to be, to do this role and to do it really well because there's honor in doing it.
Yeah, that could be an explanation.
I have something on that later on, but I have it on reasonable authority that when they say bread, they're actually talking about genetic engineering.
Yeah. And I'm just like, death of the author. Once it's out there, then we can, there's the intent, but there's also the ways we can read it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So even if they meant it that way, I think this that reading of it, I think makes it a little more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. And this is where it really gets interesting when you see things, the way you interpret things when you see them, particularly when you see them for the first time, which puts me in a kind of a unique position. And then you compare that against what the actual intention was when it was first put together. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it actually helps to translate what you've seen, but at other times it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Now, just for the record, I have just written down a little note here because I'm going to keep this somewhere safe. And it says, Monica said I said something that made a lot of sense.
Oh boy.
You should frame it, frame it, put it up in your office there.
We're gonna hear about that for 6 months now.
I will get my lovely wife, who's an artist, to make a piece of art around that particular sentence, and I will put it
and
on the docking ring here.
Yeah, nice. And maybe at one point, whenever I get to come and visit, if we get to see you, then I will get to see this piece of art and said, God, I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Followed by the phrase, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. I'm going to have to live with that for the rest of the duration of this podcast.
When you say podcast, you mean like the ultimate end, like 28 years down the line, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this will get rolled out on a regular basis.
Yes. Laminate it and just hold it out.
Jeez.
Oh boy. Right. So we're on to the final act of the episode, Act 5. Quark complains about the lack of tourism from the Gamma Quadrant, while O'Brien drinks a Ractagino, I think.
Yeah.
Ractagino?
Yeah, something like that.
It could be Ractagino.
Yeah, I think we were all getting super into Starbucks at times, so.
Just trying to see what it is. Oh, it's a Klingon coffee.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it's like a Klingon frappuccino.
Yeah.
That would have so much caffeine. Oh my God.
Yeah. And Tach blood.
Oh. Ooh. Oh God, you guys are giving me more ideas for themed food. I wouldn't put actual blood, but you get a raspberry syrup to stand in for it. And
well, you heard it here first.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen. Coming soon from Monica.
Woohoo! Yes.
Send us the recipe.
Will do.
Again, we've kind of lost context. O'Brien tells Quark to be quiet, which piques the Ferengi's interest in whatever has upset O'Brien. Despite his apparent annoyance with Quark, the fact that O'Brien stays put throughout his provocative inquiry indicates that he wishes to talk about something. Finally, he explains the situation with Tosk and the Hunter's game, and observes that the Ferengi don't like playing by the rules. Undeterred by O'Brien's belief, the rules... Hang on. I'm sure there should be a comma in there somewhere.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Okay, let's try this.
There's not a single punctuation in this phrase.
No. Undeterred by O'Brien's belief that the rules are stopping him from accomplishing his desires, Quark speaks of the rules and just inquires about them on a conceptual level, if they can be changed or altered within the context of the game. And O'Brien suddenly has an epiphany and leaves, shouting his thanks. Quark shrugs at his own skills of a bartender, tending to his clients' needs or concerns.
Yeah.
I wrote down two words.
Such a wonderful Quark moment right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote down two words, which both of you should appreciate. Rubber duck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a classic. Yeah, no, exactly. A classic rubber duck moment. All it'll take is for you to hear the sound of your own voice to realize exactly what the solution to the problem is.
Yeah.
Just a duck with very big ears.
And no scruples.
Yes.
In the security office, O'Brien claims Sisko has ordered him In the security office, O'Brien claims...
O'Brien. Okay. O'Brien. It's a new character. Welcome.
I know what you were going for.
So do I. It just didn't happen. Let me try that again. In the security office, O'Brien claims Sisko has ordered him to escort Tosk and the Hunter, as it is a Starfleet rather than a Bajoran matter. Odo immediately heads towards Sisko's office, and with him gone, O'Brien claims that he must escort the Hunter off the station rather than transporting him, as a sign of respect. He removes and leaves his comm badge on Odo's desk as they leave the office.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, you're doing a
Classic
mistake.
Trek move.
Yeah.
I left my phone. Sorry. I didn't get your text.
I was cleaning my badge and probably fell. I don't know. It's not my fault.
That's why at some point they probably go just to implantable badges.
Yeah, well.
I must have spilt my Racticino on it and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Hello, badge. No, not working.
Odo arrives in Sisko's office to complain about the matter, but Sisko does not know what the constable is talking about. When Odo reveals the order that Sisko gave to Chief O'Brien, Sisko denies ever making such an order and immediately tries to contact O'Brien. Having left his comm badge back in security, O'Brien does not receive Sisko's repeated calls.
Oh, no.
Now, was O'Brien being really clever here, or was it just straight on insubordination? Because if Sisko had attempted to call him, knowing that he'd effectively fabricated an order from him, then the Hunters would have been alerted to the whole charade in the first place. So was he being clever by leaving it behind so that he couldn't destroy what he was trying to do, or was he just disobeying an order that didn't exist?
Yeah, both. Because I think he didn't want to be located. He didn't want Sisko to know where he was.
Yeah, and also if Sisko would have contacted him and told him to stop, he might have felt. I think that he was insubordinate in fabricating the order, but I think if he would have brought the comm badge and Sisko told him to stop what he was doing, then that would have been ethically more challenging. So I think that he was doing the classic better to beg forgiveness than ask permission.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I was going to go with the la la la. I'm not listening, but no, that your idea works better.
Because what he's doing there is, as Monica said, just pretending that he had an order, but then disobeying a direct order given by Sisko. That would be
that's worse. Yeah.
That's worse.
Yeah, totally. Meanwhile, O'Brien, the Hunter, and Tosk, wearing a ceremonial collar and hanging his head dejectedly, reach the airlock entrance. As the hunter enters the airlock, the power grid overloads, knocking him off his feet. Downing the hunter with a punch to the jaw, poof, O'Brien leads Tosk to escape the second level of the promenade and enter a corridor as the hunter informs his colleagues that the hunt has resumed.
Yeah, he kind of seemed pleased that the hunt had resumed.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, O'Brien's actually doing them a favour because, the game's over, bored now. But actually, we're back on.
Game on.
Game on. Yeah.
Win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Well, except the whole insubordination thing,
But it's just like, I have a feeling that there is a certain level of insubordination that Starfleet that will tacitly allow.
I wouldn't say Starfleet. I would say the captains we know.
Oh, the captains that we know.
Yeah.
It's always captain's discretion.
Yeah.
They can determine what anything happens to any of their crew.
Yeah, we talked about that when we were reviewing TNG. When I don't remember which episode, but Picard just didn't report anything, and if he doesn't report to Starfleet, then Starfleet doesn't know, and it's okay.
Yep.
Sisko, Odo, and the rest of the crew are in ops when Dax informs them that internal sensors have located O'Brien and Tosk. Odo immediately heads off to find them, but Sisko tells Odo not to hurry. After a confused moment and then a nod, Odo continues at an almost leisurely pace towards the turbo lift.
Yeah, that was sort of funny, okay.
Yeah, just gonna stroll.
I'm going. Okay, I'm going to walk casually. And I'm sorry, that's not the definition of a turbo lift. It's not a turbo lift. It's a crappy lift.
It's a health and safety nightmare, is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they look down the bottom of the lift shaft, you'll see like limbs and heads.
Yeah, Starfleet's equivalent of OSHA is just going, oh my god, not another report from DS9. Just,
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the guy who mopped the pieces of what was his name in Deep Space Nine? In the Discovery, when they arrived in the future, and Jojo asked some guy to mop the rest of Leland.
She couldn't be bothered to remember his name.
Yeah. Me neither. But that's the kind of guys that, work on DS9.
Him. That person.
Yeah, that's
that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who just cleaned the bits out of the bottom of the lift.
Yes.
Yeah. O'Brien uses a phaser to remove the collar from Tosk's neck. Tosk fends off several attempts by the hunters to capture him, securing one of their energy crossbows for himself as he and O'Brien make their way to Tosk's ship.
I love that phasers can be set to lockpick.
Yeah. It's a new settings.
I don't think that was a lockpick. I think it was more of a lock melt.
But just make like a super fine beam that that won't melt anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the unless it's got some kind of sensor in it, the risk involved is just phenomenal because it wouldn't be, I've just set it at just the wrong setting, or there's a wiring problem. You go, and suddenly, where's your head gone?
Sorry, mate.
Oh well.
And then O'Brien becomes one of the hunters by right.
No, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Although he probably would become the hunted because he's taken the target away.
Ooh. It's an interesting fanfic there.
Well, I think it was Tosk himself that said to O'Brien, "You are now Tosk."
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly there, the lead hunter beams in. No, he doesn't at all. Nearly there, the lead hunter beams in the way with 2 others, but is determined to be the one that does the deed and fires. Tusk dodges and fires back, killing the hunter and possibly the other 2. What other 2? 3 of them went onto DS9 in the first place.
Yeah.
He knocked out one of them about 2 minutes ago, and then suddenly 3 then appear in front of them. So where did the other one come from?
Maybe they stayed on the ship.
Yeah, they beamed back. Don't know. I have the same problem with the best Christmas movie ever. Die Hard.
Don't. No.
Yeah. If you count,
La 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 la.
if you count the terrorists in this movie, there's one missing
one
at
of
the
the
end.
rules?
So.
Oh no, it's not one of the rules. It's just that it's a difference of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The opinion that I'm right and Yannick's wrong.
I have a feeling there's a lot of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Well,
No.
to be fair, we often agree on many things, but the suggestion. In fact, let's ask you, Monica. Do you think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Why?
Dun, 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 dun.
Because it's set at Christmas?
I think that it has that while that may have been the initial reasoning, it has kind of worked its way into the culture has accepted it as a Christmas movie. And basically, as culture creates its own canon, that almost by the fact that it declared itself a Christmas movie and it became adapted by enough people, that it made that status real. I just put way too much thought into that.
I heard what you said. I vehemently disagree. Obviously,
You're right.
You I may disagree with what you say, but I defend to the death. Blah 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 blah. But Die Hard is as much a Christmas movie as the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl is a Christmas song.
I don't think I've heard that song. And
You must have heard of Fairy Tale of New York.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting thing. See, I would say because what is it? Iron Man 3 is also set at Christmas, but I don't think anyone would say that's a Christmas movie.
No.
So that didn't make the leap, but somehow Die Hard did, and so
I don't know.
Yeah. We may have planted the seed of doubt.
No, you haven't.
Damn it.
I mean, Home Alone is also a Christmas movie.
Home Alone's a Christmas movie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the first and second one completely, and then there are no more Home Alone movies after that.
Ah, so that's something we can agree on. Not necessarily with Home Alone, but with other... well, I was going to say film franchises, but if there was only one film, that's not a franchise, that's a film.
Yes.
So, yeah. A discussion for another day, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
In his ship, Tusk stores the crossbow above the pilot's seat and asks O'Brien if he was looking to become a Tusk, which O'Brien declines, explaining, amongst other things, that he has a wife and a daughter that would not fit well into this lifestyle.
Yeah.
The bond between the two of them is stronger than ever as O'Brien wishes Tusk good luck, and Tusk tells O'Brien to die with honour, which O'Brien returns the sentiment for, which I don't know.
Yeah.
O'Brien, I think, struggled with it the moment it was first said.
Yeah. I was expecting
die
him
with
to,
honor.
I was expecting
Yeah.
him to respond something like, yeah, but, as late as possible or something like that. Just
Yeah.
not now.
Yeah, no, precisely.
It's like
When you're ready.
Many decades in the future, in
Yeah.
bed.
Good a place as any, I suppose.
At least 7 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
Yes.
true.
As Tusk's ship That was right as well. As Tusk's ship departs DS9, the hunter ship follows, continuing the hunt.
Yep.
Once the ordeal is over, O'Brien arrives in Sisko's office, where he attempts to make a
Yup.
feeble explanation for what transpired. Sisko appears furious with O'Brien as he scolds the chief and warns him not to pull a similar stunt again. Before O'Brien leaves, however, he wonders how that it was that he was able to escape. He had figured that Sisko and Odo would have been able to apprehend him and Tosk almost immediately. I guess that one got bias, Sisko observed dryly. And as O'Brien leaves, he has a rather satisfied grin on his face.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he knows that he's forgiven.
Yeah, but Cisco had to, give him the talk.
Yes.
Totally.
Don't do
Yes.
that again, or I'm
Yeah.
I'm the one giving orders here. But
Yeah.
good job.
This is it. And you've seen it in a lot of Star Trek series where there's a lot of the do what you need to do to get the job done. I will bite your leg off for doing it, but I'll then buy you a drink later on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I had a boss that did exactly the same for me.
That's the way to do it. You still have to establish who's in charge and what you can officially do and not do.
Yeah, I mean, you had to have some actual chain of command there, but the ethics are. I always thought that whatever leadership courses they have at Starfleet, there must be one on when your subordinates disobey you for good reasons.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they all do the same
They all
thing, so
do
they must have lessons about that.
But you have to have a commanding officer, or at the very least, a boss who gets it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any commanding officer, captain, whatever, within any of the Star Trek series I've seen so far that has not got it at any particular
Yeah.
moment in time.
No.
Because if the motives are right and the reasons and the methodology is right, you can pretty much get away with whatever you want,
Yes.
but you will get a new one chewed as a result.
Yeah.
So that was the end of the episode. Monica, what did you think of it as an episode?
No, it was really interesting coming at it with new eyes, and I think especially after this talk, I really think about this episode in different ways, because I have to admit, Miles wasn't one of my favorite characters. I know, shocker. And then especially, and so I, as I rewatched it, I remember it being one that didn't stand out because I was really drawn to the Bashir and Dax episodes, the first season. And so this one was just kind of like filler. And then but talking about it just really made me think about this episode in a different way, because honestly, I don't think I've seen this episode in since it came out, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yep. Oh, it's been 10
Don't say it. Don't.
30 years.
A while.
27, 28 years?
7 years, something like that.
29 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I totally understand what you mean there, because one of the primary reasons we started doing this is because, well, it wasn't just the fact that we both loved Star Trek, but it was also, as we started going through the first few episodes we did the review of, we found that we were seeing so many different angles of each of the episodes. As we were leading up to starting this podcast, I'd already watched the first 3 seasons of Enterprise. Sorry, the first 2 seasons. The third season doesn't exist. The first 2 seasons of Enterprise. And as we were looking to start this, we were gearing up for the first season of Picard. And that was when we were originally going to start. But then we thought, well, hang on a second, we've got like 6 months before it starts. Why don't we do something first? So we said, okay, well, let's do season 4 of Enterprise, which actually brought us up exactly to the right time of the start of Picard. And for me, just talking to somebody else about the episode and picking up on different people's observations and just different interpretations of particular storylines or particular tropes within that particular series, it just widened up the episode to the point where you kind of appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me of so many chats I had in college or with my nerd friends where we would just dissect an episode in ways that for somebody watching it more casually, they're like, what are you doing? It's like you're having like this literary criticism of an episode almost, but it really kind of dissecting it as a piece of text and a cultural artifact, but for something we love and something that kind of made our identities in a lot of ways. It's so much fun. Like we've been talking for almost 2 hours, and it doesn't feel like we've been talking for 2 hours at all.
Yep.
So this is just like, it's so much ridiculous brain fun. So
yeah. Yes.
And also, I think that's what good sci-fi does. It's just,
True.
Yeah. Excellent. Yannick, what did you think?
Well, I think it was a good episode. It was another one of those character introduction episodes where we learn to appreciate O'Brien, see another side of him, being, the good guy, always trying to help, even someone he doesn't know. He would give, well, maybe not give his life for them, but he would do whatever he can to help them. Plus, the story was interesting as we discovered the main character Tusk, and we wondered who is Tusk, what is Tusk, and then why is he, keeping secrets and stuff like that. And then suddenly the hunters arrive, and then we start to realize that it's actually a game. And I was shocked when I learned that. That's not right. That's not something we can accept. And then that's the whole reflection on. It's not because it's not in our culture that we have to reject that. It's just somebody else's culture, and we have to respect that difference. I guess it's kind of the same of what we saw. I just finished edited A Man Alone, and so I remember that we said it was one of those episodes. We fear what is different. Here it's not we fear what is different; it's that we judge what is different. But we don't really have the right to do that. It's their culture. It's not something we would do in our culture, but we have to respect what they are doing. And I guess the conclusion, what O'Brien did, which is bend the rules to allow Tusk to escape and the hunt to resume. As we said in the review, he made a huge favor to everybody, to Tusk, to the hunters, and probably to the relations between the Federation and those people. Well, relations that we don't see them anymore.
We don't
so
ever
I guess
see again.
No, and the whole first contact thing, that it didn't happen, effectively means that incident between DS9 and the Hunters and Tusk effectively didn't happen, which I don't know, I was a bit disappointed about.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked this episode a lot.
Good. It was good. It was good. I mean, I don't have much to go by. This is only episode 6 or 7, if you consider the first 2 as a. Oh no, it was 2, wasn't it? So this is episode 6. Yeah. 6th episode, and it's difficult to pick out whether anything is good or bad at this stage as far as DS9 is concerned. I'm still not I think I'm still getting used to being on a space station rather than a starship, and the utterly awful video quality. But I'll stop going on about that now because I think
NTSC video. That's what
my
you get.
opinion is no.
NTSC
Absolutely.
Video.
I think I'm disappointed by the fact that it was another O'Brien episode, because I considered the one with the replicators, can't remember which one that was now, was quite a strong O'Brien episode. So I could have done better with maybe getting to know some of the other characters a bit more. But it did show O'Brien in a much different light than we had got to know him up to that point, because he'd always come across as a little bit meek, a little bit submissive, a little bit of a yes man. But here it's shown a side of him that actually he's a little bit of a rebel. Not hugely so, but
Like,
enough for
just
you.
skirting it.
Right. But enough to, I actually now have a bit of respect for him as a person, because he is a little bit rebellious. He is very much now I need to do what I think is right rather than I need to obey the rules.
Yeah.
And that's my kind of bloke.
And I wonder if this episode is meant to show his as, going from this kind of quiet yes man on the Enterprise to this kind of subtle rebel on Deep Space Nine. It's showing kind of his transformation that this place is kind of causing, being out here on the frontier.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. And that's probably a production decision as well, because we mentioned before about the reason he's in DS9 now is because he wasn't being used properly as an actor within his role on the Next Generation. So maybe this is part of it. Maybe they're concentrating on him now because he needs to be introduced as a serious contender, as a member of the ops crew.
Yeah. To come back on your comment about the fact that you still don't have any, well, not huge affection for this series, I guess we have to pass all the character introduction episodes when we get into the stories. And I know for the first season it was not serialized, it was stories one after the other, but then slowly it gets a little bit serialized. It gets very, very interesting after I guess maybe the first season is not the best one, which is usually the case in any series.
That's the case for Trek.
Yeah.
Oof.
But it's still good. I have confidence that you will like this series.
I don't doubt that. I really don't. I mean, it's just the fact that DS9 and Voyager are the two series that I have the least amount of exposure to. Now, Voyager is the one that I have the least exposure to, because I think I've only seen 3 episodes, and one of those I'd really not want to be reminded about. But the
threshold.
threshold.
Oh God, yeah. I am sure, like, if somehow they could obliterate everybody's memory of that episode and any existence of it, they would.
I'd be in that queue.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the storyline leading up to it was pretty good. The whole Warp 10 thing, it worked. It was good. It was very Star Trek. And then all of a sudden it kind of like fell off the edge of this cliff. And I'm like, where the hell are we going? What is this? More to the point, what are they? and how do they fit into the storyline?
Well, it's such a bad episode that we did a special episode of TEGH about that.
We did, yes.
Yes.
To get it out of the system.
Yes.
To exercise it.
So we don't have to review it if we ever arrive to that season of Voyager one day.
Well, that's the thing. We can just skip it, can't we?
Yeah.
Straight from 14 to 16. Job done.
It's like, we went Warp 10 and we...
Whoops. Yeah. we went too far. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Has this thing got a reverse gear? No? Oh, well, never mind. So, yeah, keep on keeping on, basically.
Yeah.
Crack on with it and see where it goes. I'm enjoying it. I really am. As I say, I have some quirks I need to get over with Avery Brooks' bearing within the episode, how he presents himself. But again, whether that's Avery Brooks, whether that's Benjamin Sisko, I don't know. But it's just one of those things.
I think that they're
Go ahead.
really figuring each other. They're really figuring their characters out. Like I said, I think it takes a lot of them coming into the second season have kind of figured these characters out, and some of them will be different.
And as soon as he loses his hair,
yeah, so much better.
Yeah, so much better.
Who, Sisko?
Yeah. Sisko's
okay.
Getting bald.
Yep.
Ah.
Spoilers.
Happening to all of us.
Yeah.
Not me.
Nope. All right, trivia time then.
Well, actually, before I go into trivia, I want to just make an observation. And it's to do with the pips. So I noticed that O'Brien had a single hollow pip on his collar. Now, I always understood that the hollow pips were like and a half. So you had the lieutenant grade was 2 solid pips, but the junior lieutenant was 1 solid and one hollow. So effectively the halfway point between ensign and lieutenant. It's the same with commander. So the commander has 3 pips, but the lieutenant commander, who is between lieutenant and commander, has 2 solid pips and a hollow one. So I was trying to work out what a single hollow pip would be, because that, in my mind, is half an ensign.
It's chief.
But
well, he's a chief, and so it's warrant rank?
He's chief petty officer.
No, he's a commissioned.
He's uncommissioned. Yes, that's right. Yeah. He's a non-commissioned. Yeah. But it was just trying to get around the whole aspect of military rank, but not necessarily the rank itself. It's just more the fact that he had 1 hollow pip, which to me said he's lower than an ensign. Just struggled to get my head around that bit.
Yeah. I'm sure there's lots of websites that have like full photographic essays on this.
Oh, doubtless. Anywho, let's. I've got a few items of trivia, some of which you may have heard of before, but the first one is, it may not surprise you that this episode was actually one of Colmeany's favourite from this first season.
Of course.
He is quoted to have said, Scott MacDonald, who played Tosk, was tremendous. He gave a great performance. We had a lot of fun doing it. Were we interfering with these people, their philosophy and their society? At the same time, what was happening there wasn't fair. So the whole, are we interfering? Are we helping? Classic Star Trek.
True.
Going back to the question about Tosk being bred, or as I said, genetically engineered, the Jem'Hadar, who we haven't met yet, we meet in the season 2 finale. They have a similar ability to cloak as Tosk does.
Kind of a similar appearance too.
Well, apparently they are supposed to be the same.
Wait, what?
Robert Hewitt Wolfe, who was one of the script writers for later on in the series, apparently the same people who bred the Tosks as gifts to the hunters also breed the Jem'Hadar.
Oh.
But this goes back to something you said earlier, Monica, about whether what is said in fact from a production perspective actually makes sense in universe. And that makes no sense to me in universe.
Yeah.
Because they're a different species, they're different everything. Why would they have come from the same source? Where's the logic in that?
Yeah, and also it seems like it's a really different kind of ethos too. And because like when the Gem Hadar rebel, then we kind of see, or when part of them do, I
Yeah.
think they do at some point, then we kind of see where that comes from. But for Tusk, we don't. When he has the chance to break away, he doesn't, and it seems like there is kind of more honor in it. So it seems like it is. They're culturally two completely different things, and it also seemed like they were. Yeah, it just, and maybe it was a way that they were kind of that they were connecting things afterwards, and maybe it didn't make as much sense. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes we know that the canon is a little, yeah.
Yeah. We could just ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore what?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because I think that goes back to like the very first episode, the very first scene in Iska's office with the Doppel girl. She is protesting against the contract, and Cisco honors that. It's like, she's like, it's a violation of what Isco sees as right, but more importantly, it's a violation of what she sees as right.
Mm.
And for Tusk, he doesn't, whether he should see the situation he's in as a violation. That's a conversation we can keep having, but he doesn't. So, but I think that he has more awareness of his situation than maybe the Gem Hadar do. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a really
I just have to
good
nod at most of what you said because
Yeah.
I haven't seen that far ahead. So,
question. Okay.
and a couple of bits of trivia relating to Odo. Actually, this is the first time we learn that Odo never carries a weapon, and apparently that holds true for the entirety of the series at DS9,
Yes.
except for one episode.
Really?
Apparently so. There's one episode in season 3 called Heart of Stone, and he handles and uses a weapon.
I don't remember.
Maybe the showrunner for that episode forgot.
Or it was necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't comment. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
Indeed. And the last bit of trivia, the Tusk and the Hunters are the first known Gamma Quadrant species that we see in Star Trek as a whole. Technically, that isn't true.
Oh.
Because we find out in the season 3 premiere that Odo actually came from the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah.
Yes. We do. But at this point, we don't know.
No.
Yeah.
But we
yeah,
do now.
because
No, that's not true. He said so when they discovered the wormhole and he wanted to go on the other side. He said, I was found in the Gamma Quadrant. So we do know that he's from the Gamma
He may have been
Was-
found there, but we're talking about his origins.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Although that was a good challenge. Good comeback
Yeah.
on that one. Because
Yeah.
I'd missed that.
That's what I do.
Good stuff.
Challenges people.
Oh, he certainly does that. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, so unless either of you have anything else to add about this particular episode,
Nope.
Nope.
then we shall conclude our review of Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 6, Captive Pursuit.
Ding.
Yay.
It's not over yet.
Not over yet. No.
I know. I
It
know.
is not over yet.
Shall I do the questions?
Yes,
Oh
please.
dear.
Right. So we have a first-time guest once again. So we're going to dust off the 7 questions, the quickfire questions.
Okay.
So here are the rules. There are no rules. So 7 questions. quick thinking. Not even no thinking. Just
Okay.
I asked the
Just
question.
the first thing that
first
comes to
thing-
your mind.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't
Okay.
worry. It's not that hard. Well,
Okay.
it is, but we have to say
You-
it's not.
you say that.
Otherwise, yeah, we have to say it's not. Otherwise, people are, frightened. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. What's your favorite series?
DS9.
Okay, so that we already talked about that when
Yeah, that was
Eric
obvious,
asked the
yeah.
question. Yeah.
Mhm.
What's your favorite film?
Favorite film? Oh, 4. The Voyage Home.
Voyage
Yeah.
Home. Yeah.
Good choice.
It's
A
a good
popular
film.
choice. Yeah.
Whales.
Yeah.
It's-
Wales.
And
Yeah.
also Spock swears. It's awesome.
There be wheels here.
Yes. It's so quotable. Oh my God. I love it.
What's your favorite ship?
Enterprise D.
Nice.
Fair.
What's
Obvious-
your favorite? Yeah. Favorite or best captain?
Picard.
Good. A popular choice too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What's your favorite or best character?
Dax.
Ah,
Mm.
nice. Not
That's the first time
not yeah.
someone said that. Yeah.
I was gonna say not often
Wow.
chosen, but yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
What's your favorite storyline? That could be an arc, an episode, a film, or a segment of a movie.
Oh, I really did like the section, is it section 31?
Yeah.
With Bashir on Deep Space Nine.
Okay. And it's later on in the
Yeah.
series.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought that
Nice.
was just a really powerful one.
Okay. Another question that trips everybody.
Oh
What's
boy.
your favorite or best villain?
Oh crap. You know who I thought of was Lore. He was the first
Yeah?
one who came to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, Laura is a good choice. Yeah.
Hmm.
We often have Can or Q or
Mm.
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, Laura is a good choice.
Hmm.
Well,
I mean,
then, you did well.
I mean, it's Brent Spiner being a villain and getting to stretch his acting chops. So, I mean, he's played everybody in that show. So,
In every show, almost. I mean, it was in
Mhm.
Enterprise. It was in Next Gen. It wasn't in the Deep Space Nine or Voyager, I think.
I think he was in Deep Space Nine once.
It was?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. It was in Picard.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Many
it wasn't
times.
Mini Discovery.
not in Discovery for obvious
No.
reasons.
Yeah.
Well, he could play a great grandson of Nguyen Sung, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
could do.
could be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those Soongs are out there. Just telling you.
Well, you did well on those 7 questions.
Yay!
Monica.
I'm glad.
So that's it for our questions.
Cool.
So we have something to talk about, Monica, because I've read on your blog that
People actually
You-
read my blog. Oh my god.
you have made an illegal drink. Well, it will be illegal when the Federation comes up. You
Mhm.
have made Romulan ale. So, what?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Okay, so I think this was I was talking about themed food. I love themed dinners and drinks, beverages. I mean, I made myself a cup of Earl Grey to be on this podcast. I would have gone out and bought it if I didn't have it at home. But this was, God, 9th or 10th grade in high school. So again, I was 13 or 14. And I was in this like after school nerd club. And we got to do presentations on any topic we wanted to. So my friend and I decided to present on Star Trek. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's make Star Trek food. And so really liked Kool-Aid back then, which was like, oh, let's have sugar plus this weird colored drink and mix it with water. And I'm like, there's this blue flavor. It was some kind of berry. And I'm like, if we mix that with Sprite, it would make Romulan ale. So it was technically Romulan synth ale. because there was no alcohol. Again, I am 13 or 14, and I was a goody two-shoes in high school, and my friends and I didn't drink because we were a bunch of band geeks who were into Star Trek. So we would wait until later to discover the boozy part of Trek. So that was one of the things. The other thing I realized I served was I did a cold spaghetti noodle salad and called it gach.
Ugh.
Not many people went for that, and I'm like, but you guys, I made gach. So the Romulan ale was a hit, though. So
Nice.
it was good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yes.
it was fun to read that on your blog, and I thought, yeah, well, Monica's on the show. She's gonna have to tell us about that. Yeah.
Yes, it's so much fun. I think the weirdest themed food I made. I don't know if any of you ever saw Zombieland.
No.
Okay, well, there's one of the characters is obsessed with Twinkies, and so a friend of mine came over and I made this. Oh my god, this Twinkie trifle with torn up Twinkies, strawberries, and vanilla pudding out of a cup. It was the most lowbrow trifle. And then I put a single Twinkie on top and decorated it with strawberries. It was just,
Nice.
yeah, Dave is figuring this one out.
I've had a Twinkie before,
Mhm.
and the experience. I mean, it's not. Was it nice? It was okay.
Yeah, it's something I enjoyed a lot more when I was a kid because I had one. Well, when I was making that dish, and I'm like, oh, these have not. My taste buds have not aged along with this because now it is cloyingly sweet. So
Yes, and that was the thing
Yeah.
that kind of stood out. But not just that, is that my wife, well, she wasn't my wife at the time, she's now, my girlfriend at the time, she was venturing into the world of vegetarianism.
Mhm.
And apparently a Twinkie is something stupid like 28% animal byproducts, which is quite concerning in and of itself. So although you're eating this thing that I first heard about, unsurprisingly, on Ghostbusters, this kind of cream-filled donut, and I love a donut covered in caramel and filled with custard. Yum! I will eat that till the cows come home. But this thing, I thought, sounds nice.
It's not.
No, it's okay. It's an experience, definitely. Is it nice? No. No,
It's not. And so many, I think there's a lot of our very inexpensive snack foods that are just they're not especially the best. And I think if anything, we like them because they have a nostalgia and a comfort factor. But then you try them and you realize that, yes, I would rather have a lovely homemade donut with all of those things. That sounds so much better. So,
right. Yeah. No, I know that makes sense. Just dropping back to the whole Romulan ale thing for a moment. I wonder if they treated drinks in the Star Trek universe the same way they treated language, because every language that exists within Star Trek is genuine. It's been created properly from the ground up, syntactically correct, and all the rest of it. Because Romulan ale is actually something I would like to try, genuinely. But actually, there is one higher and at the top of the list that I want to try more than Romulan ale. We never found out the name of it, but in Generations, when Data had his emotion chip fitted, they went to 10 Forward, and Guinan served him this kind of white liquid that triggered off the hate, the disgust emotion in his emotion chip. And I would love to try that, because that kind of sensation intrigues me. Because if somebody tries something and says, this is absolutely revolting, I'm like the one that says, oh, can I try?
yeah. Because it's interesting what what is it that, like, to them, like, for someone, it might be because it's cloyingly sweet.
Mhm.
And then the next person might be like, oh my God, I love these drinks. So
Right.
what for Data would have been,
Yeah.
I really
Theoretically,
think,
anything unknown
would
would have triggered that.
Yeah.
Might be a glass of milk, for all we know.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
A very interesting thought. But I'm very much a spicy food kind of person,
Yeah.
so I've got
Ooh.
no issues with stuff that other people would be repulsed by.
If that should be a question posed to Brent Spiner at a convention,
Yeah. What does he
if it
think
hasn't
was in this
already
glass?
been asked.
Well, he would probably tell us what it was, rather
Yeah,
than
that's
what it
why
should
the
have
question should be, what do you think was in this glass?
been.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
Data was
Because it's
Mhm.
probably
specified.
like banana milkshake or something.
Ooh, that
In
sounds
which case,
good.
Yummy.
yeah. Well, in which case,
Yeah.
yes, yum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else then? Nope.
Not that I can think of. This has been really fun. Thank
Right,
you.
No worries at all. Let's crack on with some housekeeping.
Okay.
It's your
It is. So thank you to everybody for listening to our show. You can help us spread the love for this podcast by putting our logo on your clothing and inviting a group of people to ruthlessly hunt you down to an honourable death. Or if you think your purpose in life is somewhat more than just being casual entertainment to individuals with nothing better to do with their time, you can simply share the address of our website on social media.
Yes, and our website is at tearlgreyhot.org, where you can find our show notes, our reviews, and leave a comment for every episode.
And of course, you can send us an email. Our address is feedback@tearlgreyhot.org. We do read every email we receive. We love hearing from you. And we may well read out your email on the show. If you'd rather we didn't associate your name with your email, please do let us know.
Which we would understand.
Of course.
Not having your name associated with us. Yeah.
Too
I
late for
would-
that.
If I could, I would
For
not
you,
have my
yes.
name associated with that. Yeah, but it's too late for me. Save yourself, run. We are also on Twitter and Facebook. Our username for both of those is TEGH Podcast, and we're also on Telegram at t.me/TEGH Podcast, which is almost the only place where you will get the link to our unlisted live stream.
I was
When it is
getting
actually
ready to
unlisted.
correct you on that.
where it is when it is unlisted, not like tonight where it has been a public stream.
Thank you, as always, to Memory Alpha. We have based our review of this week's episode on their work, and this is released under a Creative Commons by attribution, non-commercial license.
The rest of the show is released under a Creative Commons by attribution share-alike license. See our website for details.
And this podcast is a part of the Other Side Podcast Network. Check out more of our phenomenal shows over at otherside.network. Not biased at all, by the way.
No, not at all.
No.
It's not because it's our network. That's we're no. It's
Or-
just
or-
it's genuinely good
Or a good number of the shows on there I actually appear on.
by us. Our next episode will be our review of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 1, Episode 7, Q-less, where we are going to meet again a good friend of ours. Which
Indeed.
name is in the title.
Less.
I have
Great minds.
Yes.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh. Nice.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you, Monica, for joining this circus of ours.
You're welcome. This was ridiculous fun. Ask me, and I will probably say yes again.
Cool. And
You're on
we
the
need
list.
to set something up to have you on the show with Lenny. And
Yes.
I guess I'm
Yes,
pretty
please.
sure neither there or I will have time to say anything.
Nope.
Probably.
We'll somehow manage.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave, for joining us for this episode.
Oh,
once again.
absolutely. Yeah, of course. It's been great.
We will be back in 2 weeks. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, stay safe, wash your hands, stay away from each other, wear your masks, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
See ya.
Da, 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 da. Woo!
Oh
Oh,
boy.
God. That was
Well,
great.
I'm going to send you a very big audio file
Yeah,
soon.
no problem. I'm going to stop this recording.
9 X runs.
No extras. I'm going to send you a link, Monica, to my Nextcloud so you can drop the file in there.
Perfect.
Did you notice, Dave, that my Nextcloud is now faster?
I didn't actually.
Well,
I don't know
that's
whether
the point. You didn't notice anything. You didn't notice it crash because it didn't. I upgraded the droplet.
Ooh.
What are you on now?
2 gigs of mems of RAM instead of 1.
Nice.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's
I
just-
think that's still a single core, though, isn't it?
Yeah, still a single core, but
Yeah.
it has 2 gigs of RAM, and it's a lot better now.
I am considering going to the next one up from that because I'm on the same as you are now with the 50 gigs of disk space. I'm
Mhm.
thinking of going to the next one up to have the second core, which I think is either $15 or $20.
Yeah, I'm on the $10 right now.
Yes.
So,
No,
Monica, I sent you a link in Discord, and you should be able
Okay.
to drop your files in there.
Perfect.
File or files. I don't know if you have multiple files or not. And yeah, I shall edit that. And so we're back to 2 episodes, which is great.
Back to 2 episodes, yeah.
We're we're treating our backlog. We're
Yay.
progressing in getting rid of that backlog, and then we
So
can.
you just released 76.
Yes.
Then I shall
So you-
remove 76 and 75 from my folder.
Yes. I will
78
show
is on
the
its way
same.
to you. Cool.
Thank you. I should copy my file to you.
Is nice.
Okay, I just-
Thing. And yeah.
Lainey is asking, are we saying she talks a lot?
Oh no.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
We wouldn't dare saying that.
Not to your face, anyway, no.
Okay, where?
I think I can remove Martin's file from episode 71.
Probably.
Really?
75 I can get rid of. 76 I can get rid of.
Keep 77 in there for now, because that's the one that I've got outstanding.
Alright.
I think.
78 is on
I'll
its
check
way.
if I've got that.
Can I also remove...
Oh, no, I
CC?
haven't got your 77. I need to go and get that. Sorry, go
Can
on.
I remove ccits.20200919.sql?
Yes, and the 1.5 gig video file that's in there as well. That can go as well.
Yes, that hope is you part 2.
In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the only folders that need to still be there are you, me, and themes. Everything else can go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mix
And the pie upload and the LD and GIMP.
Yeah. LD. We don't want to.
Okay.
Right.
77.
That's gonna
Alright, so
clean up.
I need to find where my OBS recordings go. I know they go here
Yes.
somewhere.
It would be better if you could find your file.
That would be useful.
I can use, if there's a huge catastrophe, I can use the YouTube audio, but I'd rather not.
That's true. All right. Well, I will get those to you very shortly, and I'm going to get ready because I actually have a community council meeting. We didn't have one last week because it was the 5th Wednesday of the month, and I didn't realize that. So I was like, "Hi, I'm here," and then they were just
No one
like,
else was.
Nope.
it's like no meeting. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's good." So because I think we had been doing some kind of practice or other. So it might have been with the golf game. IDK. So
Yeah.
probably,
Yes, true. We were playing golf with your friends.
which is actually
Golf with
really
your
fun.
future
Soon to be not
ex-friends.
friends.
Soon to be not friends. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's say goodbye to YouTube. Bye bye, YouTube. See ya.
Bye. Thank
Au
you
revoir,
both.
YouTube.